everybody, and welcome to Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela. It's the FIBA Basketball World Cup America's qualifiers. It's game day 5, and it's the battle between Venezuela and Argentina. Well, one thing is for sure, the Venezuela fans have every reason to be excited about their team's prospects, not only the qualifiers, but looking ahead to the World Cup. You can see they are 4-0, ahead of Argentina, having won their battle in the last window. And of course, the top 3 progressed to the second round. Both of these teams, in fact, have already punched their ticket for the second round, and 7 teams then from the second round will go ahead and clinch spots at the 32-team FIBA Basketball World Cup, which will be played in Indonesia, in Japan, and the Philippines.
8-9, Nicolás Brusino. 10, Carlos Alpino.
So even though these teams have already clinched places in the second round, of course, every win is important. Every game counts, as they say. You need as many wins as you can get over the first 2 rounds to improve your position and have a chance to actually get to the World Cup. But again, I think realistically, everybody is expecting Venezuela to make it, and even Argentina, of course. There you see the coach, Nestor Garcia, former coach of Venezuela, and saying thank you. Of course, they should be saying thank you to him as well, because he really brought the good times to Venezuela. He was their coach in 2015 when they won the FIBA America Cup in Mexico City. And then, of course, that qualified them for the Olympics. And a true connection. Well, it was apparent. So proud of Venezuela to have that success, and they thanked their former coach Nestor Garcia. At the time, it was hard to see him going anywhere else, but of course he has gone Dominican Republic. Now, of course, back to his dream job, coaching his own country, Argentina. You can see Venezuela excited. The fans are excited. The players are excited. And this is a team that, if you remember, in 2019 at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China, they played very well. They advanced from the first round. They played in Beijing. They beat China. They played Poland very hard, and they played Cote d'Ivoire. So they had I felt like they had a very positive experience while they were in China. And they're looking to continue to build, to challenge for more FIBA Americups, and also to challenge, try to move up in the pecking order, in the world order, get to Indonesia, Japan, or the Philippines, wherever they go. It's going to be incredible, and it's hard to believe it's already coming up next year. It seems like we were just in China, but of course also feels like we've lost a good 1.5 to 2 years. Due to COVID. But anyway, we're going to have a pause for the national anthems, Venezuela and Argentina.
continuación invitamos a Vanessa Flores, con su saxofón.
You see part of the coaching setup for Argentina. Pablo Prigioni now over there. And now the Venezuela national anthem. Well, wonderful job. Boy, that is a talented musician playing the sax, and breathtakingly good performance. So that puts us in a great mood for this game, and these referees, of course, they're excited to be here. Coaches know each other very well. Of course, Fernando Duro is actually the head coach of Venezuela, and he's the Argentinian. Michael Whalen, Omar Bermudez, and Andres Gaston Bartel, also the coaches. And again, you can see the Venezuelans, the love, everybody in that team that they still have for Nestor Garcia, as people call him, Che Garcia. And really, it's you know, just kind of illustrates how basketball really is one big family. When the game goes on, that's a different matter. But after the game, there'll be hugs again. Abrazos para todos. Everybody will be putting things into perspective. And again, in some ways, the pressure is off this team, but this is good news tonight that Facu Campazzo is back for Argentina. They really needed him. He's going to be the captain tonight. Nicola Brasino, Carlos Delfino just continues to play and play. Marcos Delia and Leandro Nicolas Bomaro all in the starting five. And Nestor Garcia, the head coach, as I've been mentioning. And you've got Garly Soho, Yornan Zamora, David Cubillan, Miguel Ruiz, and Nestor Colmenares. So Vargas, Churio, Escanio, Gradero, Guillant, Cifuentes all coming off the bench. And there is Fernando Hector Duro, the coach. Again, Argentinian, coaching the Venezuelans. And anybody that's watched Venezuelan basketball the past several years can only come to the conclusion that it's getting better and better.
Alineación inicial de Argentina. Alineación inicial de Argentina. Número 7, Facundo Campazzo. Número 9, Nicolás Brasino. Número 10, Carlos Alfino. Número 12, Marcos Delia. Número 31. Leandro Bolmaro. Alineación inicial, selección de Venezuela. Número 6, Garly Soho. Número 7, Yornan Zamora.
So Venezuela, you go back and you look at the results of this team, and you can tell that they have been on a roll. They have really come out and laid the wood to the opponents, winning 77-56 over Panama. 71-53 the second time over Panama. Then they beat Argentina 71-58, and maybe in some respects the win was even more convincing than that final scoreline indicates. That was actually in the Estadio Obras Sanitarias in Buenos Aires, and then Venezuela followed it up with a 97-48 win over Paraguay. So they have been good. They've been playing fast. They've been exciting. They've really captured the imagination of their fans. They had a lot of fans that went to watch them in Buenos Aires, and now they have the home court advantage. But this is a little bit of a different Argentina team. They will have perhaps learned a little bit from the first encounter, but again, you bring in the quality player, especially Facu Campazzo. He will be running the show. He'll presumably be playing a lot. Wapi Vaulet played really good for Manresa this past season in the Basketball Champions League and the Spanish Liga Endesa. He's here. Francisco Cafaro, really good center. DeLeo obviously has been around. Garino, Patricio Garino is now back, as well as Leandro Bolmaro. So these are all very important additions to the Argentina team. And you would imagine that they're going to be a little bit better equipped tonight than they were in the first meeting. Will it be enough, again, to overcome this Venezuela team tonight? Well, we're about to find out. Good look at Garly Soho, number 6, just 22 years of age, one of the real big talents in Venezuelan basketball. A little bit of a slight delay before the start. Well, we're underway, folks. Hello and welcome again to the Gimnasio Luis Ramos. This is Venezuela taking on Argentina in the FIBA Basketball World Cup America's qualifiers, and the second meeting between these two countries. And you can see Campazzo just plays at a different speed to everybody, including sometimes his own teammates. That bounce pass goes out of bounds. Venezuela looking to get the first points here. Cubillan. 3-point shot. Good! Well, you know, that's not what Argentina want to see. They don't want to see this team start fast, but Zamora striking from downtown. Bolmaro puts it on the deck. Ooh. And looked like he was getting ready to make the pass, and then he dribbled. They called him for traveling. Good work by Campazzo, almost forcing a turnover. Soho misses with his first attempt. And here's Bursino, man that likes to rebound and run. Brings it across midcourt. D'Elia goes in for the flush. Colmenares looks at his teammates. Hey, got to communicate better. Constant thud of the drums here tonight, and now a foul a long way from the basket. D'Elia. This is Puerto La Cruz, and they've got a huge appetite for the sport of basketball in this country. It was evident on so many occasions when they've hosted tournaments Here's Cuvion driving in and has the ball turned over. Campazzo goes the other way. Spin move. Gets down low. Look at him go. Boy, the quality just oozing from the play of Facu Campazzo. I mean, you almost get dizzy watching him. Look at this. Oh, spin cycle. Thank you very much. And then he is fearless when he drives to the basket. Campazzo does not make the free throw. Zamora, and this time misses everything. Well, both these teams do have some continuity, but still, sometimes you got to work on your chemistry when you meet up, and you're not always in the flow. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to settle in. Now, foul was called. Delfino asking why he's not going to the free throw line. He thought Miguel Ruiz fouled him when he was in the act. Bolmaro probes, takes it back. D'Elia again goes up strong and draws the foul. Soho. Oh, this just looks like an Argentina team that has a much better idea about how they want to go about their business tonight than in that first meeting. Good early signs here from Argentina. One of the, really, I would suggest, in the last 2 decades, well, I don't have to suggest that they are, one of the iconic national teams. For everything that they achieved, making it to the final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2002. Almost won that one. Lost that in overtime to Yugoslavia. Winning the gold medal at the 2004 Olympics. Always competing for spots on the podium. Nice runner from Venezuela. And Zamora bringing a little bit of scoring punch tonight. Cuvion gets the assist, and now the turnover. And Soho, and this is what Venezuela want to do. They want to get out and push it. And they get Soho putting it up off the glass. And just like that, that positive start for Argentina just kind of fades away. Well, that was a very difficult shot from Delfino. Colmenares spins, puts it up and in, went right around D'Elia. Impressive. And 6 unanswered. Again, Soho putting it up off the glass and in, and well, Campazzo here to just calm things down a little bit. Although for him, you would think he's trying to speed things up. But Brasino, relatively quiet start for him. Although we're only just over 4 minutes into the game. Oh, what a pass from Facu Campazzo, and Bolmaro not able to get it to go in. That was a mesmerizing pass by Facu Campazzo. And this is Bolmaro. And Wendy Gradwell went up and put him off. Affected the shot, no doubt. Quick pass to Colmenares. Doesn't catch it cleanly. Picks it up. Now he's going to take on D'Elia again. And D'Elia picks up the basketball. Entry pass to D'Elia. Over to the corner, and Delfino strokes it from three-point range. Carlos Delfino, 39 years of age, played this past season in Italy, and Colmenares catches it in the paint, puts it up. A nice move from Brusino, but now he doesn't finish. Now Soho decides to take it in. What a finish that was over D'Elia. Palmaro going to work, slips. Gratterall up ahead. Zamora. Here's Soho. Wide open. Why not? Number 6 with another big basket for Venezuela. Will Che Garcia call timeout? Yes, he will. Try to slow down this rampant Venezuela team, the Vino Tinto. Argentina's like, hey, we were playing pretty well. What happened? So they're going to sit down and go over some things. Of course, it didn't help that Palmaro slipped on that last possession. Well, there's so much noise you can't really hear Coach Garcia, so I'll just go ahead and, as we're looking at Delfino, it's incredible when you think about the fact that he was in that Argentina team that won the gold medal at the 2004 Olympics. Remarkable that 2 decades later he's still playing, and of course there was a spell of a few years where he wasn't able to play because of the injury that he picked up while in the NBA. And had it not been for injuries for Carlos Delfino, I mean, he would have had an amazing NBA career because he was really good until he did get injured. Well, the ball knocked away out of Romano's hands. He's checked into the game, number 33. Michael Carrera, number 24. He's a tough competitor as well. Now Zamora, shot clock winding down, so he launches it a good 2 meters from behind the arc. Wow. Zamora on fire tonight. In the first quarter, he's got 8 points. And Venezuela really turning it up a notch. They've also got Gregory Vargas in the game now. And that's not going to cut it for Argentina. Oh, Vargas almost turned it over. Now he's fouled by Brusino. Gratterall hands it off to Vargas. No look pass. Soho wide open. Another three. And you can understand with the 22-year-old, hey, if you are good enough, you're old enough, and of course, he's doesn't have nearly as much experience as really most of the other players out on the court right now, but he looks tough. I mean, this is a wide open. They run it. Argentina lost on defense. Bolmaro very slow getting out to guard him. And Duro decides to take him out with Venezuela up 22-10. Campazzo comes in. He was fouled by Soho. And why you think it might be a done deal that Argentina would go ahead and qualify for that World Cup, you just never, ever know. So this game, because they fell at home to Venezuela, this is a very big game for them. They want to come out and set the record straight, but they, more importantly, want to get a win. You want to get as many wins as you can. Every game counts. Carrera backs his way down low. Chorrillo passes it back out. Pedro Chorrillo in the game, number 9. Michael Whalen calls the foul. Che Garcia really going with that close crop hairstyle these days, and so is Fernando Duro. In fact, that's how he was looking in China at the World Cup. Venezuela definitely seemed to have their act together. Many of these players are at the World Cup, so they've got continuity. They're bringing in some new ones like Soho, and now Campazzo in the open floor. That's where he's really dangerous. Quick pass, and Cafaro fouled. Still playing college basketball at UVA for Tony Bennett. Cafaro. .22 years of age, and misses with his first attempt. And both of his attempts rattle out. Vargas asking for the basketball. He gets blocked from behind by Bolmaro. And then the ball goes out of bounds. So Bolmaro is going to sit down for the first time today, and Jose Vildoza comes into the game, number 1. Heisler again, over to Vargas. You might remember Gint, very emblematic player for this Venezuela team. Well, most of them are, in fact, but he hit those huge shots against Canada in 2015 in the semifinals. And there is a ball that gets wedged. Haven't seen that in a while, so that gets knocked down. Really nice seeing Mr. Garcia. Mr. Che Garcia spent so much, giving his former coaches and basketball staff a little bit of time there before tip-off, because they clearly wanted to talk to him. Now, look at that. Oh, boy, what defense that was. Great defense by Romano. Carrera, thinking that maybe there was a foul. But that was good D by number 33. Looks like he swiped down on the basketball. Carrera's 1.96 meters in height, but he really kind of plays a little bit taller than that. Here he is on the baseline. Fades. and unsuccessfully. Now Campazzo. Oh boy, good drive by Romano, and the foul has been called. A little bit of experience. Romano helping out, coming off the bench, playing well. Good cut to his left. Great hustle from Carrera. So timeout has been called by Duro. Foul was actually called on Graterol.
Agrego con Pedro, acá. Mira, Michael, acordate, estás acá, salís para acá mano a mano y bloquea primero. Sacalo, uno completo. Elige, Pedro. Al otro lado. Uno directo. Vamos a la vida en cuarto, Vamos a la vida en cuarto.
But you want to talk about the experience as we look at this Argentina team. Talk about the experience in the Venezuela team. They've got Guillen and Graterol, both 35 years of age. Zamora's 33. And Gregory Vargas, 36. He was the player that was kind of barking out some thoughts right before Duro started talking during the timeout. So they do have plenty of experience. But usually what you find is that the best national team programs, the best teams, are the ones that have a good mix of veterans and some youngsters that are coming up. And I guess Soho fits the bill for the youngster at 22. And Romano got that ball to bounce off the rim like 3 or 4 times, and then couldn't get the drop. The well has run dry for Argentina. Finally, been a while since they scored, and 22-13. Here's Hesler again, 35-year-old. Churio. Back to Carrera, and offensive foul. Good job drawing the charge by Brusino. So the foul actually was on Pedro Churio. Cordoza. Romano sets the pick, rolls. Campazzo right at the end. Boy, that was execution to perfection by Facundo Campazzo. Well, for a minute there, it looked like Venezuela were about to run Argentina out of the gym, but that Campazzo shot makes it 22-16. Venezuela on top of Argentina at the end of one. Well, the action has been fast, furious, and some good overall play for Venezuela. Just to see their fans really appreciate it. There's been probably 3 or 4 times in that first quarter alone with Facu Campazzo where you just think, wow, what a player. Every game he plays. And Soho really stood out for Venezuela in that first quarter. Well, folks, get the Courtside 1891 app loaded into your smartphone. You can stream, look at the schedule, scores.
El deporte, la educación, el turismo. Ciudadano ministro Ali Padrón, bienvenido. Gracias por el apoyo.
Pablo Daniel Favarel, the assistant coach, over there talking to the players before they get going again here. He's Doro's right-hand man. Assisted by Ronald Guillen. Mendoza spelling Campazzo. And traveling is the call. Omaro back in the game. Yeah, I think he traveled maybe 4 or 5 times. Romano looked like he was doing a little dance step all the way down the court. Guarino also in the game for the first time, number 29. And Mendoza goes down. Looks like he might have been hit on the clavicle. Ooh, ooh. Definitely a moving screen there. He's going to feel that tomorrow. Graterol goes out. And Colmenares comes back in. Well, Che Garcia turned this Venezuela team into a really combative force where the players feed off each other's energy. Now he has to go out and try to beat it. Here's Guarino, bounce pass over to Bomaro. You can see Bomaro, he's got the moves. Quick pass back outside. Romano, how about that? Well, his coach would rather him do that than travel, and just like that, the lead for Venezuela has been trimmed to 3. And Romano overall has been really good. Now Michael Carrera. And a chance for Argentina to pull level with a 3 or to close the gap to 1. Palmaro gets rid of it. Mendoza. Nifty dribbling by number 1. Look at him. Oh, boy. How about that? Goodness me. Made that left-handed. And that was after some slick ball handling. Che Garcia liking much more what he's seeing now from this team. Oh, boy. Great anticipation from Bomaro, and he comes up with a steal. Mendoza now in the open floor. Lob. And D'Elia, not sure if he was expecting it. Romano, will it be 2 in a row? No, not this time. Vargas gets it to Carrera. And Carrera really forcing his way in there. And not sure if it was D'Elia who fouled him, but so it might have been Romano, in fact. No, it was D'Elia. to Michael Carrera. No foul trouble to speak of. D'Elia does have 2 fouls, so I guess he's doesn't want to pick up another one. Soho, Graterol, and Miguel Ruiz and Zamora all have 2 fouls. So Venezuela have hit a little dry spell with Carrera missing both free throws. And a chance now again for Argentina to lead. Soho, if that's on him, maybe it's on Carrera. Yeah, definitely on Carrera. So frustrating sequence for Carrera. He has to go out of the game. Cafaro comes back into the game for D'Elia. Remember who has the 2 fouls. Here's Bomaro, and just barely grazed the rim. And now an unforced turnover on Cifuentes. Just lost his handle. Lots of fouls already. Both teams are going to be over the limit here soon. Venezuela already over the limit. Now here they are, and it's going to be Soho driving in. They're much better when they speed up the game. They get into transition and they get numbers. So many games have been played around the world today. A lot of games in Europe, Asia, Africa will be starting up tomorrow. So the second one is good, and it's a 2-point lead. Cafaro gets it back. Vildo's a very interesting player. Here it is, 3, and Cafaro, are they going to call the push? Yes, they are. Or have they called, who have they called the foul on here? Yeah, it was. I think it was on Cafaro for fouling Colmenares. He pushed him out, trying to get the rebound, and Romano went down. Colmenares goes in, good work, but they can't get the rebound. Now Venezuela, shot clock about to expire, and guess what? They hit it. Cubillan. Feel a little Venezuela run coming now. Carino, quiet start for him, nowhere to go. And again in transition, and another basket, this one by Cifuentes. So Garcia has seen enough, he calls timeout. Pablo Prigioni gets a word in. Scanning the courtside, 1891 barcode, and Big courtside 91, boy, it is something you want to have in your smartphone. Campazzo comes back. I guess that was perhaps more than anything a reason to get the timeout. But for those, it's going to stay in the game. Romano handles it well. Yep, hands off and great play. Romano. It's not flashy, but it's effective. He's been really good. Bounce pass. And look at him share the basketball. Colmenares turns that rim into his own little jungle gym. Romano for three, in and out. And here they are in the break. And the lob. Colmenares. And the lead goes back to 9. Romano steps into it. And Argentina catch a break because that was going to be Venezuelan basketball. That was the Colmenares flush. Facu Campazzo doing Facu Campazzo things. Drifting in. Oh, misses the layup. Try to finger roll at the end. That's the only problem with that finger roll. Sometimes it just goes off the rim, stays out. Here we go. Kubian. Delfino back in. Not quite as muscular as he used to be, Carlos Delfino. More of a trimmed down version. He's got the ball now. Now Campazzo bumped a long way from the basket. Cifuentes. So more substitutions, and Argentina going deep into their bench. Tayevek Gaitsi comes in for Cafaro. Brasino, I can't remember him even attempting a three. Here's Campazzo, and how about that? Well, Argentina kind of hanging around, but it stands to reason they need to get a little more offense, a little bit more help on that end from Brasino, or maybe Garino eventually. And good defense from Delfino to knock it away. What a drive. Oh, and then another layup missed by Campazzo. Soho for three. Long rebound. Vildoza. Getting a hand up. Colmenares over the other side of the court. Skip pass, and the basket is good. Cifuentes. .245 remaining in what's been a very intriguing first half here in Venezuela. And Daisy helps up his teammate. That was Colmenares finding the jump shooter. And they have indeed shot it well from three-point range tonight. Venezuela 6 of 12 from deep. Zamora 2 of 3. Soho 2 of 3, and both Cifuentes and Kubian have hit threes. So a good balance. Long two rather. And Delfino called it, and he was out of bounds. There's Laguia coming back into the game. That's a good call by the ref, right on it. I'd like to see Valette get in the game. He's a player that can cause some problems for you. Gets out in the break. Maybe he'll come into the game in the second half. And an offensive foul turns it back over. Valette plays for Argentina. Brasino has attempted one shot so far. And that pass intercepted. It was telegraphed. Brasino certainly doesn't agree with the call. Soho and Cifuentes goes out. Go out rather, and the pass to the corner. Three-point shot. Good. Another one. Kubian, his second. Here's Brasino. Decides to pass it back outside, and it pays dividends to Garino. Well, there you go. Brasino and Garino, prime candidates to step up for Argentina right now. Campazzo is going to do a lot of things for you, but he needs a little bit of help. Carrera gets down low, and Tayyip Gaisi looks over at the ref and says, what am I going to do? Head position. No, he slid in too late. So Carrera makes the first. He missed a couple of free throws on his first trip to the line. Good job, Carrera, this time. Christina quickly to the corner, and that's a 2 if it goes. The end. Dribbles left. And offensive foul called on Carrera, who has been a little frustrated tonight. Some of the decisions. Watch Carrera again. It's interesting because he turned and Campazzo turned, and they both ran towards the basket. There was contact, and Campazzo went down. Final minute of the first quarter, and a very important minute for Argentina. Campazzo earns a trip to the free throw line. Now he's going to go out. So Campazzo at the charity stripe and makes his first attempt. 10 points, leading Argentina tonight. 3 of 4 now at the free throw line. He's got 11 points after that, in fact. He has turned it over a few times, and he has missed a couple of layups, but he makes both free throws on that occasion. Carrera, quick spin, and nobody stopping him there. He was bound and determined to get something. You could see the frustration, wanted to take it out on Argentina. Argentina trying to hold it for the last shot. Campazzo. And, well, again, his drives haven't been on the money tonight. So Venezuela lead Argentina 42-31 at halftime. Two more threes for Venezuela. 4 more makes inside the arc. Six more rebounds for Venezuela. Look at the assist numbers for Venezuela. 9 more assists than Argentina. Well, once we got underway, Venezuela started fast. And Soho catching fire from three-point range. Zamora catching fire from three-point range. Campazzo had that spectacular drive where he spun at midcourt. Did not make the free throw, though. Zamora with a little runner. And Soho showing that he's not just a jump shooter. And then, of course, Colmenares with the spin move. Soho. So strong. And the Venezuelan fans loving it. Probably thought really they had a chance to open up a huge lead on Argentina. But Argentina just started to come back. And Kubian, even though he hit that three, Argentina did pull all the way back to within 2 points. So Campazzo with that, he's his second three-pointer. Fontes also joined the three-point shooting party. And then Kubian hitting his second three. Then Carrera, who had a couple of tough calls go against him on previous possessions, able to score down low. So it's 42-31 Venezuela on top of Argentina at halftime.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
By Chacon. Could be a 3 straight turnovers. Moya may have to get a timeout as Puerto Rico go down and rock the house through Ortiz. They love it when the big man throws it down. This is De Jesus. Look at this. Gets it back to Ortiz.
Well, Mendes now looks for a handoff here. Oh, turns it over. Now, what do we have here? Well, the bells are ringing in transition as the NBA champion in 2018, Jordan Bell. Well, the bells, I said, were ringing. Liz. Over the shoulder pass. Eloy Vargas. And now another turnover. Solano gets ahead. He goes for the blocking, the dunk, and a great hustle back by Alexander.
So again, Cuba trying to go as much into depth as possible in this one. Stoll coming off one screen, finds Amigo. Oh my Lord! Amigo went to the bucket with the monster dunk.
And down the edge of the paint, off the mark from Joaquin Rodriguez, and Brazil in transition. Look out! A Brazilian blockbuster from Lucas Dias. Piquet has it picked off. Now he tries to chase back and wait for the cavalry to arrive. And it was played so patiently.
Delfino now coming up one screen. I turn it over. Ayata transition. Ayata gets rejected. Wow! What a block! Marcos Mares says, "No en mi casa. Tú no eres bienvenido en Buenos Aires."
Rojas on the pull-up. Too strong. Buzzer sounds. Play continues. There's the heave. It's good for Chile. Count it. Oh, the heave from Morales. Nothing but the bottom of the net. The highlight finish from him.
Well, there's no surprise here that Facu Campazzo is the leading scorer for Argentina. He's got the pedigree, he's got the experience, and he's come out and tried to keep his team in the game, leading the way with 12 points, with an array of jump shots. He's scored on a drive as well. And for Venezuela, Mr. Soho. He can shoot it, he can drive. Garly Soho, 11 points. And what his coach will like is the fact he's got those 3 steals. So he's got a team high 3 steals. In fact, he's got a game high 3 steals. And you look at also points off turnovers. 18 points have been scored for Venezuela off their defense. Gets them into transition. They like to run. Argentina have 10 points off the turnovers. It really is, you feel like with Che Garcia is trying to figure out the best way, the best lineup, how to get things to work, because ordinarily you would definitely expect Brasino maybe to be a little bit more influential. Maybe he's going to unleash him in the second half. So probably the biggest challenge facing this Argentina team is how are they going to get more players involved, playing at the level they need to play at to be able to compete with this Venezuela, who haven't lost in the qualifiers yet. So as you go down that lineup for Venezuela, Garly Soho, 11 points. Zamora there shooting. He's got 8 points. He kind of, those 2 players really kind of got them in the flow early. Nestor Colmenares has 8 points, 6 points for Cubillan. All of them coming from 3-point range. And Zamora 3 of 4 from the floor, including 2 of 3 from deep. And there's Soho with the 11 points. You know, when they won the FIBA AmeriCup in 2015, they went to the Olympics and they did beat China, but that was it. I mean, they had some good moments, and but it was pretty clear that there was quite a gulf in class between Venezuela and all the other teams that they're facing, including the USA. And you know, they've done a great job, though, of using that as a stepping stone and moving forward, because again, they qualified for the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and I thought played very well in China. And here they are. They didn't make it to the Olympics, but here they are, you know, battling away and looking to make it back to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. as Wampi Valet has yet to play. So yeah, I was just double checking myself here. Venezuela did play. They did beat Korea, but they lost to they lost to Lithuania. And Lithuania were at home, obviously, with Valanciunas, Sabonis. And that was at the Olympic qualifying tournament in Lithuania. And then, so they had to play Luka Doncic and Slovenia. And everybody remembers how dominant they were. So, no, they didn't get to the Olympics, but you have to go through those experiences to get better and better. And Fernando Duro, I'm sure, has used that tournament as a stepping stone. You know, he's brought in some new players. Well, Soho was actually at the Olympic qualifying tournament. So anyway, so we will see again if they can press on that advantage in the second half, and I would suggest that nothing that we've seen so far suggests that won't be the case. Argentina being led by Campazzo and 6 points from Romano. 5 points for D'Elia. So somebody, anybody has to step up for this team. Including perhaps Balmaro. We know he can play better. Second half underway here in Venezuela, who lead 42-31 over Argentina in the second battle between these two teams in the FIBA basketball World Cup America's qualifiers. And just like in the first half, it's Soho that comes out strong and scores the first 2 points. It's now a 13-point advantage. That is the biggest lead of the game. Brasino picked up the loose ball, then decided to shoot it. And they just look like a very difficult team to break down. They don't want you to take your first option, Venezuela. Kubian brings it up the court. Kubian launches it. Well, you know that Delfino can also get hot. So he would be a candidate as well. Well, that pass was telegraphed, and Soho probably should have been off to the races there, but didn't seem to quite take advantage of his anticipation. He anticipated it well. And another foul hold called. Kubian not enamored with the call that was just made on him. Bolmaro gets to the baseline, back outside it goes. Campazzo again. Picks up the dribble. If D'Elia make his move, he has to put it up with the shot clock about to expire, and the ball goes to Soho. Well, maybe it's going to end up being, as Soho goes, so goes this Venezuela team in the future. Kubian for three. Bolmaro turns it over. Ran into Soho. A little bit out of control. He's got to see what's happening and get rid of the basketball, or else pull up. Here he is right here. Bounce pass. And it goes Colmenares. D'Elia with the rebound. And the foul from behind on Ruiz. And you know, with Campazzo, probably Ruiz not liking that. Probably a little bit more adept at being able to handle the ball in traffic. Substitutions. Carrera back in the game. Chorio back in the game as well for Venezuela. It's definitely an Argentina team that is in transition with a new coach. Remember Luis Scola, the legend, retired in Tokyo. And that went off of the backboard before it was blocked. D'Elia also asking for the foul. Watch this. So, see if he gets him in the head. No, he didn't get him in the head. He might have got him in the back. Well, right now it's an 11-point deficit, and again, we seem to be stuck at this stage. Are Venezuela going to turn it on, or Argentina going to do something to get back into it? Remember, 32 teams will be at the FIBA Basketball World Cup for the second time in a row this next year. Be in Indonesia, in Japan, in the Philippines, and both these teams trying to book their places. Of course, they're not going to do it tonight, but both these teams are already in the second round, which is good news, even before this game is played. But neither of the teams has enough wins yet to qualify, so every game is important. I'm sure that Venezuela will feel like they've got 1 foot in the World Cup if they get out of here tonight with a win. They would go to 5-0. Colmenares makes the free throw. Oh, beautiful pass, and Romano just continues to come in and execute. And he would not have been my first choice to be the second leading scorer for Argentina tonight, but he is. He's been a threat from three-point range. He's gotten out of the break a couple of times. Kubian, that's off. Ooh, nothing but white shirts there, and almost a collision. Bolmaro hands it off. And again, the reach, and this time Romano goes to the line. It's just knows exactly what he's supposed to do. Fill the lanes, hustle up, get down the court. Go hard, be ready for the handoff. And he gets that one to go. So after missing his first two, he's made 3 free throws. And the second one is good as well. I could be wrong there. Maybe he's now 3 of 4. Yeah, he's 3 of 4 on the night. So after he missed his first, he's made 3 in a row. Has again over to Carrera. Argentina has closed the gap to 9. Carrera doesn't seem enamored with the defense that Ramonda's playing on him. Oh, you can kind of see why. He kind of body checked him up high. That is only going to anger Carrera. And you don't want him to be angry. Churio goes off 1 foot a long way out. Boy, what a nice, sweet stroke that was. And Campazzo this time loses it as he gets close to the lane. He was hoping the contact would be called. Garcia going through his mind, what can I do to change this thing around? Talking to Prigioni. Zamora from the baseline, can't get it to drop. And D'Elia, oh, dangerous. Venezuela players lurking, looking for the steal. So Campazzo goes back to the line. And once again, it's a 9-point game. Colmenares goes right at D'Elia, who swats it out of bounds. Bomaro, you know, he likes to get into the paint, knife his way to the basket. Hasn't really been able to do that. Delfino steps back, puts it up, and ball goes in and out. Colmenares again. Gets swatted by D'Elia, just takes it away from him. Good deep twice in a row from D'Elia. Romano passed up the 3, gets it back to Campazzo, who misses. Oh boy, a little bit of miscommunication. Ball goes out of bounds. So Delfino goes out. Vildoza comes back into the game. Zamora also takes a seat. And Vargas, Guillant, Colmenares, Churro, and Carrera on the court for Venezuela, who haven't been able to slam the door shut yet. Romano for 3. Churio almost traveled. Hezler again drives in and puts it up just off the glass ahead of D'Elia. Bolmaro from downtown clangs it off the back of the rim and the backboard. And just offensively, it's not a thing of beauty right now for Argentina. Bounce pass, Carrera goes in, gets swatted. Oh, great job by Bolmaro putting his hands up and getting the rejection. Look at the hand. Look at this. Not in my house. So timeout called by Garcia, and Argentina going to talk it over. Scan that thing in right there, the FIBA Basketball World Cup app, and you'll get all of your stats and everything that you need to cover the World Cup qualifiers. See that more and more players going off 1 foot like that. A la Marcelino Huertas. He does that a lot as well. And this was Hezler again, knowing he had enough time to get up ahead and get that ball in. Cardoza brings it up. It's an 11-point lead for Venezuela. They've been right around anywhere from 9 to 13 points here in this third quarter. Romano left wide open. He takes it at the elbow. Vargas steps back. Oh, boy, that's a killer for Argentina. Shot clock goes all the way down to the end, and they hit a 3. Oh, no, it was a 2. His foot was on the line. So a little bit of a reprieve. But even so, the lead now 13. They've equaled their biggest lead of the game. And that's where D'Elia had plenty of time to catch it and come down, go back up. Argentina have missed some layups tonight. Vargas hands it off, and going up, Colmenares fouled by Garino. So Romano committed the foul. He goes out of the game with 2 fouls. Juanpi Valette also gets into the game, so it's good to see him get a run for Argentina. That wears number 22. Campazzo wants an explanation. He thought it was going to be Argentina basketball, but somebody was in the lane too early. Oh yeah, it was. It was Bomaro, or no, Garino. And Colmenares on the second attempt makes it and takes it up now to the biggest lead of the game, 14 points. Still enough time to turn this thing around, Argentina. But they need to get some baskets. And Wampi Violet fouled in the paint. Colmenares. Wampi Violet. Part of that great season of Manresa in Spain. Made it to the Basketball Champions League Final Four. Churio. Garino able to rebound it with Carrera there. Vildoza. Campazzo gets it over to Ballet. Long rebound though. And hooping and scooping, and the foul has been called. So Churio called for the foul on Campazzo. See, the Venezuelan players have a lot of respect for Campazzo as a player. You've seen what he's been able to do. Of course, he was in the final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2019. Things didn't go well for Venezuela at that point. Guillet, meanwhile, goes out of the game limping, so you don't like to see that. 35-year-old Guillet. Campazzo had such a good World Cup in 2019. It was there were, you know, as good as Scola was, Luis Scola, Campazzo really was every bit as important. And I'm sure that had Argentina won that final, of course it wasn't close, but he would have been on that all-tournament team. Carrera puts it up. Final 10 seconds. We saw Campazzo make one at the end of the first quarter. Now his pass whipped over to Baulet, who gets in and, oh boy, he had his shot. And I don't know what happened there for Baulet. 53-43, Venezuela on top of Argentina at the end of one. So, see the numbers, the shooting numbers for each team. Vargas is definitely heated over there. Look back at some of the plays. Garly Soho again, the way he started in the third quarter. Just how he started early on in this game when he set the tone. But then he left the game, hasn't come back in since. Churio, that was a nice shot. It's only his only basket of the game, in fact. And that's Hasler-Guillen's only basket. And that is Vargas's only basket, a long two. His foot was on the line, his right foot.
El domingo a las 5:10 ante Paraguay. Aquí en la cantera del Diablo.
Scanning the courtside 1891 barcode, you get streamed schedule scores for the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. And in fact, a lot more.
Viva el turismo y el deporte. Y aquí nos vamos al Plaza Mayor, a la feria del turismo de Suategui. Cuarto, número 4, a continuación.
So 10 points separate these two teams going into the fourth quarter here. Campazzo takes the bump. Make sure that he puts the shot up. And the foul called, so free throw is coming. Campazzo, if he can make these and get it down to an 8-point game, things could get interesting. Makes the first. And does indeed make the second, and now it's back to an 8-point deficit. Can Argentina maybe come up with a steal, get some easy baskets? See there, Carrera, no, he's going to hand it back off. Shot clock down to 6. And the rebound falls to D'Elia. Where do you go? What is your best chance of getting a basket here? Well, quick down low to Valette. Campazzo lets it fly. The three-pointer. It's a 5-point game. Cubian to Carrera, who wants to shoot it. And Carrera thinking he's going to get the foul called on Campazzo, and he doesn't. Substitutions for Venezuela after that sequence, with their what was once a 14-point lead having been cut down to just 5. This is when you feel like Argentina really have to make their move. They continue to make their move. They're obviously making it. 3-point shot, good, and they are indeed. Nice stroke from Jose Vildoza. And It has been a nightmare of nights overall for Argentina, but here they are trailing by just 2 points. Fernando Doro has to call timeout.
Olvide de Elías, metete ahí, mete el punto fácil, hombre. Si no, dependemos de tirar 3 puntos nada más. Vamos a defender, vamos a defender.
Venezuela versus Paraguay. De baloncesto femenino 23, disponible en Android y en Apple Store. Y el domingo también su experiencia VIP con la gente Record. Y la caldera del diablo recibe a su selección. ¡Metan puño a los que son de Venezuela!
So now's the time. Argentina, they have shaved 12 points off the deficit. Can they pull level? They got close in the first half. They weren't able to get over the hump. And Duro was pretty heated during the timeout. Zamora for 3. And Argentina, what are they going to look for? Campazzo puts it on the deck, drives in, gets swatted out of bounds by Ruiz. Well, this is his house. You know what that means. Look at this. He saw that coming a mile away. He was ready to go up and swat it. Campazzo again. Oh, and Argentina have taken the lead. And that's the difference when you have a player of his ilk, his self-belief, his quality. He can now say, okay, jump on my back and we'll get there. Soho, he misses. Argentina having trailed all game, now lead. And D'Elia gets it. It goes up for the dunk, follows it, and is denied, blocked from behind. D'Elia sets the high pick. Campazzo goes right past him. And it's going to be Violet. Or no, Carino, excuse me. And now it's a 4-point lead. Garland Soho on the baseline. And Violet rebounds and runs. Now he's going to hand it off to Campazzo. He's like, what am I doing with the basketball in this situation? I need to hand it off to my guard. Three. Oh, another one is good for Campazzo. And Argentina owning this fourth quarter, outscoring Venezuela 17-0. That's right, folks. Look at him. They have stunned this crowd. Let's listen to Coach Duro.
uno por México. Vamos Pulgar ahora. Pulgar, Michael, si no recibís, termina en uno. Sacalo, sacalo. Muchacho, un poco de confianza, vamos. Sacalo. Si metemos la bola interior, este bloqueo acá. Atacalo con una finta. Atacalo, tiene que ser puligol. Vamos, que queda mucho, vamos.
Termina él los movimientos. Escuchen. Aparecer, fijando. Ahora. Time Amencoa. Vamos ganando por 7.
Campazzo has, quite frankly, folks, he stepped it up here in this second half, and especially in the fourth quarter. And he now has 27 points. And you could see how happy he was and hear how happy he was when he came out of the game or ran over to the bench during that timeout. He's like, this is why I was definitely going to play for Argentina in this window. I love it. I'm having a good time. Here he is having to guard Carrera. He has to pass it back outside. The three-point shot from Zamora is good. Still pressure on that shot, of making that shot, but he made it with ease. Sometimes all it takes is one shot like that from Zamora to light the touch paper. And D'Elia ends up taking the shot in the lane. Looked like he was going to pass it out to the left wing. So Garino called leaning on the offensive player. Kubian for three. And it's going to stay at this end. Good work, Carrera battling away. Kubian checked, or excuse me, Vargas coming in for Kubian. So I think you lose a little bit of quickness. Carrera fouled from behind by Ballet. You see Carrera saying, give the ball back to me again. I'm going to back him up down low. Vargas for three. And you wonder if he's got the green light to do that. They've become a little stagnant offensively in the second half. Speaking of Venezuela. Four and a half minutes remaining. Argentina have not been great tonight, but they have been outstanding in the fourth quarter. And the 5-second call turns it over. The crowd getting back into it here in Venezuela. A little bit too much standing around right now. Soho drives in. Argentina knows that it's coming. Defensively, they bat the ball back outside to Zamora for three. And this time the long rebound. Corralled by Vildoza, and just hands it off to Campazzo. Now less than 4 minutes. D'Elia gets it to Garino. Garino, I'm not sure he got it off in time. Oh, they're going to count it. Look at that. Wow. Zamora, this game starting to get away from Venezuela. Ruiz misses the jumper. And there just isn't enough movement on offense for Venezuela right now. 3:16 remaining. Whew. I'm not sure if they looked at that again. I'm not sure that he did get it off in time. Colmenares back to Vargas. Soho, three-pointer not there. Another attempt. Zamora, he misses as well. And now Venezuela are going to have to do something exceptional here. Outscored 22-3 in this fourth quarter. This is just against the run of play for the first three quarters, spectacularly. So they called that foul on D'Elia. They'll make sure they got the moisture up off the court with 2:46 remaining. And Duro knows it's going to be it's going to be a tough loss if they don't come back in tonight, especially losing to Garcia here in Venezuela. Good drive by Zamora, but also because this big crowd came out tonight. Campazzo waves off. Foulet tells Vildoza where to go. Now Campazzo misses everything. Vargas hustles up the court. And that was Foulet, got away with a foul there, it looked like. What's bizarre is that Argentina have been able to come all the way back the way that they have after they fell behind by their largest deficit. Since that point, it has just been a Venezuela team that we don't recognize from the first three quarters. They've just kind of lost their confidence, kind of run out of ideas on offense. Nice cut flash across the lane from Zamora. Vildoza. Vildoza goes behind his back. Oh, great follow by Wampi Vowlet. Great penetration. See some good stuff from the young Vildoza. Zamora. Carrera called for the push. That was the previous play by Zamora. So Carrera out of the game with 3 fouls. And timeout has been called by Che Garcia. Let's go down to the bench and listen in. Well, you can expect Venezuela will have to gamble a little bit here. Basketball handed off to Campazzo. Gets it up to Garino. Who hit that big 3-pointer, Garino. Wow. They've called a technical foul on Che Garcia for going beyond, going too far. Now, I saw Michael Weiland talking to him recently about that very thing, but it's just kind of seems an odd call to make in this situation. But they have rules for a reason, is to enforce them. And Garcia is just beside himself. I don't know if he's more disappointed in himself or just furious with the referee. But that makes it a 6-point game. And now the push. Venezuela still not yet over the limit. Campazzo holding it. Taking the shot clock down as far as he can. Now he launches it. And the basketball goes back over to Venezuela. Fernando Duro really frustrated. Feels like his team has let one get away tonight. So that stops the clock, puts Colmenares on the line. And he makes the first. So the foul was on D'Elia. So it really does a huge favor to Venezuela because no time running off the clock. They go down. And trims the deficit now to just 4 points. Boy, if Venezuela could get a steal in the backcourt, now would be the time. But it's probably not going to happen when Campazzo has it. So I'm assuming he's taking that clock down as far as he can, just like he did last time. And indeed, he goes in, misses the shot, and the block has been called. Said that Vargas got in a little too late. So with 14 seconds remaining, Campazzo could take this up to a 6-point lead. And he has absolutely been the best player on the court tonight. He got hot when his team needed him to. And you just wonder what Che Garcia is going to be able to learn from this game tonight. It's going to help Argentina moving forward. Obviously, you're better when you've got Campazzo in your team, and he is in this window. And certainly the possibilities are there for Argentina. You would think about, they qualify for the World Cup. If they travel to Indonesia, Japan, or Philippines, they could be a tough opponent. Well, it's going to take a minor miracle for this Venezuela team.
No hay triple, pero si tiran el triple, me quedo parado, no foul. ¡Y rebote! Rebote! ¡Ey! No foul, claro.
Well, you definitely don't want to foul. If you foul, you run the risk of giving away a 4-point play. You stop the clock. So the basketball is going to be inbounded by Vargas. Zamora. Clock is the enemy. They got to put it up. And I guess maybe what they're doing also is playing. Vargas is going to launch the three. He's going to make it with 2.28 seconds. And Campazzo launches it. Doesn't matter. Argentina have won the basketball game. And kind of a stunned crowd here. Argentina prevails 69-66 over Venezuela. Venezuela won the first game by 13, so I don't think that was, they were in danger of potentially losing the head-to-head advantage. So it seems like they should have gotten that shot off earlier there at the end. In the end, Argentina with 11 threes and 18 of 22 at the free throw line. That's always a huge stat. How'd the team shoot free throws? Argentina actually out-rebounded Venezuela. So Venezuela have to regroup. I guess they would have known coming into this that Argentina was going to be their toughest opponent. But the way they beat them so soundly in the first meeting and the way they got up by 14 points tonight, you know they're feeling disappointed that they could have had a sweep. So Vargas goes out. Make sure he says hello. Some of the family and friends that have come to see him. Feels like we're getting some audio from the changing room, from the locker room of Argentina. So here's a look back at the highlights and from the second half. And again, the way it started, it seemed like it was going to be a continuation of the first. Romano did come in and give him a little bit of a lift. But Venezuela were on top with that Chorrillo basket. Didn't really add much to their lead. They only outscored, or actually they were outscored in the third quarter 12-11. So the alarm bells had to be ringing. But it was the way that Argentina were able to really find their stride in that fourth quarter. They had at one point opened up a 17, or they had outscored Venezuela 17-0 in the fourth quarter, at the start of the fourth quarter, and gone ahead by 9. And you knew at that point that it was going to be a big ask for Venezuela to win the game. Campazzo was just a joyful one-man wrecking crew tonight. 29 points, 5 of 9 from three-point range, 12 of 13 at the free throw line. And the importance of that three you can see by Che Garcia. Zamora hit that late shot. The clock was the enemy. This was the last three. He could have definitely gotten a shot off earlier, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Argentina thanking the fans. And here we have the standings as we speak. So Venezuela and Argentina now 4-1, but Venezuela have the superior head-to-head. So they are on top. And of course, as we said earlier, both teams, even before this game, had already clinched a spot in the second round. Well, it didn't look good for Argentina for a long part of this game, but late in the third quarter. They started to find their rhythm, and led by Facundo Campazzo, they have claimed an unlikely victory, playing better late against Venezuela.